How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the last edition of Open Workouts for 2018. We're here with Open Workout 18.5. This is the one I voted for because this year, or I guess this specific workout, they made it interesting and decided to have us vote on Facebook, which was pretty cool. But I don't know how legit that was because they had you go on their live feed and post just like on their comment section versus like making a poll, which I feel like would have been more accurate, and everyone would see how well it's doing and where it'd be at. But then I guess that might be a reason why they did it also, so that way it's like a mystery until 5 p.m. versus like when everyone's like kind of, you know, voting right then and there. You can see like how it's doing as it's going on. So it is what it is. The workout I voted for. Whichever workout you voted for, leave it down below in the comment section. Was it this one or was it one of the other ones? Personally, I think this one is much more enjoyable. It's fast. It's 7 minutes. It starts off, you know, kind of moderate. It's like lower sets and it builds up. And I just hate overhead squats, and doing 15 thrusts and 15 chest bar back to back out the gate sounded way more daunting. So it doesn't surprise me this workout was picked. So Open Workout 18.5 is a 7-minute AMRAP, 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. going on until you hit 7 minutes of thrusters and chest bars. So you do 3 thrusters, 3 chest bars, 6, 6, 9, 9, and so on and so forth for 7 minutes. RX weight is 100 pounds for guys, 65 for ladies. Everyone was very surprised when they said 100 pounds, but when they did this workout back in 2011, the very first year of the Open, 100 pounds was the weight they used. So they're keeping it the same throughout. Me and a lot of buddies were predicting like they're gonna whichever workout we pick is gonna be with a dumbbell. So it's gonna be dumbbell thrusters or dumbbell overhead squats, which would have been way worse. But luckily, that is not the case. We get to have our barbell, yay barbells. So getting right into it. So talking about mobility for this workout. Thrusters, a lot of people hate thrusters because they're very crappy. They get, you know, your legs burned up, they get your shoulders burned up, they get your heart rate pounding, your lungs catch on fire. But some things to make sure we're moving efficiently and we're, you know, not wasting much of energy when doing the movements. When we're holding the bar in the front rack, we want to make sure we have a nice shelf for that bar to sit on and it's resting on our shoulders. Versus a lot of people, if they have tight shoulders, tight triceps, forearms, lats, essentially the main muscle groups that make up your front rack position. If you're out here holding the bar like this and it's not actually resting on your shoulders in the squat portion, it's actually sitting out here, it's going to pull you that much more further and tax your shoulder that much more. So we want to make sure that that area is loosened up and it feels good and you can rest that bar on the front rack comfortably and you're not just holding it the whole entire time. So I've kind of like combined some certain areas here. We want to make sure we get these areas just amount of attention as one another. So first off, we have lats and your front delts. So the reason I have these is because lats, if your lats are really tight, it's hard for you to open up here and get the elbows high in that front rack position and have that bar sit on your shoulders. So make sure you smash out your lats, whether it be with a lacrosse ball, a foam roller, do some banded lat stretches. For the front delts, the reason I have this on here is because a lot of people have, you know, very tight chests because they're hunched over like this all day long at work or, you know, on their phone, whatever it is. So if you're someone that has a tight, you know, chest or, you know, front delt area, you'll make sure you're opening that up so you have more mobility to get those shoulders down and back, and then therefore also get that bar on your shoulders. Because if it's here, it's hard for you to get that bar, you know, if my shoulder rolls forward like this, even though I have lat mobility, it's so hard for me to get my elbows up. If my elbows are down or my shoulders are down and back, it's way easier to get my elbows up and have that bar rest on me. So I would also smash this area as well. I would have, you know, if you have like a good buddy, I would have them like massage this area. That's a really good way to kind of dig in and get different knots and areas. Otherwise, you can grab a lacrosse ball. What you'll do is you'll place your hand behind the center of your back like this, so you're kind of like almost like you're getting handcuffed. And then from there, you'll kind of go up to a wall, place the lacrosse ball right next to your chest and kind of smash it and get different areas there. And I would also do like some other stretches. You can lay on the floor or come up against the wall, place your hand up against the wall and twist away, kind of opening up that area. I'm still kind of sore in my chest, so I can feel that when I'm doing that, even though I have pretty good mobility in that area. Next, forearms. There is a lot of forearms in this workout because you are going to be holding that barbell. Even though it's kind of resting on you, you're still kind of squeezing and pressing it up. It's still getting some of your forearm involved. And then you're doing a lot of chest bars, which is a lot of hanging, which is in return going to affect your forearms. So make sure your forearms are very mobilized. If you have a voodoo band, I'd voodoo band your forearms. Maybe if you have like we have a foam roller machine that's like, it's like a big circle and it has 2 pieces in the middle that are kind of like rubber and they kind of open up, so you can kind of stick your forearm in and smash it. It's really convenient, really nice. Otherwise, you can grab like a 15-pound or a 35-pound barbell, lay your forearm flat on the floor and kind of smash it with the end of the collar. That'll kind of loosen up anything there and making sure you are very loose and you have the mobility, because that's also a problem area. So if you have, you know, loose shoulders and loose lats, but you see a lot of people, they have to hold the barbell like this because their forearms are really tight and it's pulling on that area. So make sure your forearms are mobile before you get started. And then we have hips and quads. When it comes to this one, I would make sure I don't stretch this area too much. Reason being is because you're going down into a squat and you want to make sure you're still tight and have the elasticity in your legs and in your muscles to kind of use that balance out of the squat. Not that I want you to just drop and come out really fast, but you want to have that tightness in your legs. When you come down, it naturally you want to stand up. You don't want to pause at the bottom. I notice a lot of times people have really good hip mobility or quad mobility. They can get really low in their squat, like people that can almost touch their butt to the floor. They're more likely to struggle on the squatting portion because they're so mobile. It's like they can get comfortable and rest at the bottom of that squat, whereas people that are really tight and can barely fight to get below parallel, they more naturally kind of just spring back out of it. So when it comes to your hips and quads, I wouldn't spend too much time there. I'd make sure they feel good, make sure they're stretched out and they're not too tight or achy or anything like that, but I wouldn't spend 5 or more minutes working on that area. I'd maybe do like 1 minute each side for hips, 1 minute each side for a quad stretch, and that'd be it. Maybe combine the two, and I would do like a minute of couch stretch. I love couch stretch. It's really good for your hips and your quads to kind of open up that area. And then if you need any extra attention, hang on to a foam roller, just smash them out, make sure they feel good. Try some empty bar thrusters and see if you need to do any extra stretching, but keep that to a minimum. Stretch these out pretty good. Make sure you can get that good mobility and that good positioning, but if you can get your hips below parallel and you're not too tight, don't spend too much time here. Just make sure they're mobile and they're ready. For the warm-up, this is what I have going on for you guys. So it's a 3-minute bike or run. Reason being is because I want to make sure we have like the anterior of our body warmed up. So you have like your core really warmed up. You have your quads and like your calves. But I wouldn't spend too much. I wouldn't do a rower, because if you're on the rower, it's more it should be more posterior. But a lot of people use their quads. But if you do the rower right, it's usually more posterior dominant. And there's very little of that in this workout, other than you cleaning the bar up to your shoulders to do your thrusters. So I would bike or run for 3 minutes, kind of like 70% max effort pace, nothing too crazy, just kind of get warmed up, get the body feeling good. And then from there, I'd probably come in the gym. Before I do the second piece, I'd probably do like some jumping air squats, something kind of like dynamic to get my legs warmed up. I would do some bear crawls, warm up my shoulders, just anything that you think would kind of a prerequisite to make sure that the area that you're going to be tackling is going to be really warm. So a lot of shoulders, I would do a lot of hips, I would do some quads. Make sure those are warm before you get started. You should not be cold in anything, because 7 minutes is fast and you want to be going pretty fast through this workout. I had some guys do the workout that we just watched, and even though they weren't going blazing fast, it's still, they were getting, one of them got into the round of 18s, going pretty conservative and breaking up like on the round of 12s. He was breaking up his thrusters and chest to bars. It wasn't like anything too crazy. He wasn't going really fast. He doesn't even really cross it that much. He's more just like an ollie lifter and kind of does his own thing. So I wouldn't, I would make sure that you feel good, you feel warm before you get started. You don't, because it's 7 minutes, it's fast. So you do 3 minutes of bike, you do some jumping, air squats, jumping lunges, you do some bear crawls, whatever you need to do individually to make you feel warm that you like to do to feel good, because I'm a strong believer in like, there's multiple different ways to get warm and get stretched out, but it's whatever you like, whatever you prefer. I would do that. And then, before I get started, I would do a warm-up round of 3-6-9 thrusters and chest to bars. Reason being is just to kind of find your tempo, find how you're going to start the workout, and there's no, like mystery of like where my bar should be, how it's going to go. Should I just jump straight up to the bar? Should I kind of shake it out? Find all that out before you get started, because if you come out too hot or don't know what you're going to do for this first round, it's a mystery. Like, should I go slow? Should I go fast? Am I going to blow up? Should I start breaking up my chest to bars on the second round instead of 6s? Figure that out before you get started. Otherwise, the whole 7 minutes is going to go downhill. You need to have the very beginning of the workout, set the tempo and set the pace for the rest of the workout. And then at the very last bit, you can kind of kick it up if you have a little bit of energy left. So I would do 3 of each, 6 of each, 9 of each. Nothing crazy. Kind of find that tempo. Find out how you're going to start individually, because for a lot of us, unless you are a regionals athlete or above, we're not going to go unbroken. A lot of people were breaking up. A lot of people had to do singles on the chest to bar. People were breaking up the thrusters on around like 9. It's a tough workout. They're challenging exercises for sure. So find what's going to work for you in the tempo department, because you don't want to start again too hot or too slow. What's going to work for you? Don't pace off everyone else. Everyone's going to be different. Some people are going to be really strong and crush thrusters. Some people are going to be really gymnastics-like and going to be flying to the chest bar but struggling thrusters because they're lighter, whatever it is. Find your tempo individually for you that's going to work. For movement efficiency, so with these 2 exercises, we all know thrusters, we all know how those go. If you have chest to bars, you have them or you don't. It's kind of hard to get them the day before because you have to be practicing them and get the movement down, whether you're doing kipping or butterfly. But starting off with thrusters, what I see a ton of people do is they keep their elbows down in the thruster, which you want to do. You want to make sure you don't have your elbows super high and you're letting that bar come back on your fingertips. You want to have a more full grip and bring those elbows down so you have better leverage to press up. But make sure when you do that, your elbows aren't coming in contact with your thighs, and they're also still far enough where it's resting on your shoulders. Don't let yourself start bringing those elbows too far down, and especially you start leaning forward too much because of that, because the weight's starting to come from stacked on top of you to starting to roll in front of you. So make sure elbows, you find that sweet spot for your elbows individually, or whatever your needs are, or your mobility allows, so that way you can do nice, efficient thrusters. And then also, a lot of people tended to do that I used to do a lot when I first started CrossFit, was I would just bottom out in my thruster and just let the bar push me down, and then I would just explode up with all my energy. Control the bar down and make sure you're hitting that efficient position. Don't just let that bar just control you and go, ugh, and you take a deep breath out and you lose that midline stability and you're just all over the place in your thrusters, and you're starting to do like you do the press up and you're walking at the same time and you're all over the place. You're wasting energy, it's not efficient. Make sure you're staying smooth and safe, because that's gonna help you get further in the workout. So control the squat down, explode up, control it down, explode up, and make sure you're not squatting prematurely. Don't squat before that bar comes in contact with you. As soon as that bar touches your shoulders like a trigger, boom, that's when you start your squat. You want that bar to stack on top of you. Don't let it crash on you midway through your squat position. Also with the bar, make sure, obviously, you have to do this for the rep to count. You have to get that bar back behind your head, stacked over your midline. But if you are pressing out a little bit, even if it kind of looks like it's still over your body and like your judge is still counting them, you're wasting so much energy with that shoulder being slightly in front of you versus stacked on top of you. So make sure you're punching that bar up and back, getting it in line with your body. Don't let that bar come out any forward. Also, when you're coming up, don't let that bar go around your head, because you're going to waste a lot of energy in your shoulders there also. So pull that chin out of the way, keep that bar in as straight of a line as you possibly can. For the chest to bars, you have them or you don't. It's hard to teach them now. If you're doing a kipping chest to bar, make sure every time you push away from the bar, that'll help you get back into your swing if you're doing kipping. Don't just come to some people were kind of kicking up and doing a very little push away, and they do like a really hard kick to get back up. If you push away at the top of the chest bar, it's going to help you go back into your swing and then come back up for your next one. So push away hard. If you're doing butterfly, what a lot of people that are kind of learning a butterfly, what they tend to do is they try to pull their chest to the bar, and they hit the bar and they come down to a dead hang. They're like, why is this not happening? In a chest to bar, what's happening with butterfly is you are coming up, you're getting a big kick, you're pulling and you're coming behind the bar, and then once you're behind the bar and you're slightly above it, when you're coming down, that's when you're grazing your chest. So if you go back and watch the video of the daughters all doing the workout and you watch it in slow motion, you can see that they're not pulling their chest to the bar. They are, but once they're in the falling portion of the movement. So it's not me pulling up and then getting here. It's me pulling up behind the bar, and as I'm falling, that's when I pull in and I let the bar graze my chest. All that matters is that the bar touches below your collarbone. That's considered an RX chest to bar. So it doesn't have to touch nipple line, sternum, anything like that. Just get below your collarbone. That's considered an RX chest bar. I saw guys do butterfly. I saw guys do kipping. I saw guys do singles. Whatever you need to do, do it. That's going to allow you to be most efficient. Don't try. One thing that I can't stand, no matter what movement you're doing, no matter what workout you're doing, do not let yourself start failing reps. Don't try to like, oh, okay, no, I'm going to do threes from the whole way. I'm going to try to maintain, and then on round 12, you're starting to fail your chest bars and only getting 2, or you're not getting no rep on certain ones. It's a waste of energy. You're shooting your heart rate up. There's no reason to do that. So if you need to break them up even more. Don't let your ego go to the side if everyone's passing you. Be efficient and perform the best that you can. So don't try to have a game plan going into it, but don't be afraid of that game plan being, thrown out the window, and you have to do what you have to do to keep moving and staying efficient. So that's all I have to say with those movements. There's, thrusters are pretty simple. We all know how to do them. Chest to bar, you have them or you don't. For the mental game with this workout, I would try, so one thing I like to tell my athletes a lot that I heard from one of my previous, coaches above me, he said that start slower than you think, or start at like 70% of your max effort. Reason being is because when you're fresh, you think, okay, I feel good right now, I'm gonna go slow, but when you're fresh, your slow is still pretty fast. Versus if I said, hey, once you go run a mile, and then once you come inside and do this workout really slow, it'd be a huge drastic difference, because you have you have fresh versus you being tired and fatigued. So if that's the case, try to think, I need to go slower than I want to, because I want to maintain throughout this workout. 3, 6, 9, 12, however you break it up, however your plan is, you should be able to keep a consistent pace, and shouldn't be, you get through the 9s in 1 minute, and the 12s take you 4 minutes. That defeats the whole purpose of the workout. You're blowing yourself up for no reason. Kind of find a pace. So the 3s take you, let's say, 20 seconds. The 6s should take you about 40 seconds to do. Not 40 seconds on the clock, but 40 seconds total, so about a minute to get that done. So as an example, kind of find your slow pace, just maintain throughout. once it gets that last minute or whatever, do what you gotta do to push it hard. Grab that bar and don't let it go for dear life, whether you're doing chest to bars or thrusters, kind of just lay it out there. 7 minutes, it feels kind of long when you're going, but it's really not that long. What's going to determine who gets really far in this workout are people that can, whatever they can maintain, they maintain it well, and then when it comes down to that last minute, they go to that dark place and they give it all they have. So don't do the opposite. Start here and then trickle off towards the end. Start here, okay, last minute, boom. Pour it out there and then lay on the floor for 20 minutes after this 7-minute workout recovering because you gave it your all. So that is my tips and strategies for 18.5. I'm excited, sad, happy that a bunch of different emotions that this year's Open is to an end now. Back to training, back to getting even fitter for next year. So if you guys have any questions or comments on this workout or anything fitness related, I want to make sure I help you guys out because that's what this channel is here for. I love getting you guys comments and seeing what you guys want to see and me making videos for you guys. So anything which you guys want to see in the future, let me know down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to hit you guys back up and get that video made for you guys. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for plenty more, and we'll see you guys next time.